Alright, I'm gonna do one more video today and, probably give it a break, but I, watch a lot of videos like this, and maybe some people can relate to my experience in some way. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't really know a lot of people who think like me. As I have said previously, I've gone to a lot of very woke institutions in my life, so everyone who's gone through there, it seems like still holds the same, woke beliefs. I remember learning in college, literally learning in college from a professor that black people can't be racist because they're the minority in society. So this video is about racism or reverse racism or whatever you want to call it. It's just racism, right? So, fortunately, I haven't really witnessed a lot of racism in my life. I don't know any Nazis. I've never met a Nazi before. But I guess I spent a lot of time in Vermont, so there's a lot of white people there, you'd think. But now I'm in another place, and there's a lot of black people. There's a lot of people from all over around me, right? And that's awesome. I'm fine with that, right? But I go into this, I was in this bad part of town. Well, I think it's a bad part of town because, the buildings are literally falling apart. It looks like there's trash everywhere, It's not about who lives there, but it's treacherous. Let me tell you what. So I was over there and I buy weed from this dude, who runs the streets over there or whatnot. But I have to stop at this corner store because I want to buy some tobacco, and it's like the only place I can walk to around. So I go in there, and all behind the counter, it's all like caged up and everything for security and stuff. There's this Indian teller behind the counter, and I'm buying these cigarettes, and I'm gathering up my change, and some guy behind me, he's like in a rush or whatever. He might have been a crackhead or hopped up on something. So I'm like, I kind of like scoot out of the way so he can go up, but I'm still like gathering up my stuff. And basically, he makes the comment that, like, out loud in front of like 4 or 5 people in there, that, oh, he's got to watch out for people like me because I might shoot up the place or something like that. And it happened right after like one of these shootings that went on. And I kind of just like laughed and smiled at him, and I like gathered my stuff and left. And I guess I didn't really come up with a witty comment or anything to say, but imagine if the situation was reversed. Like if I said something like that to him as a white person to a black person, right? I probably would have been killed on that block. I probably would have been, I would have been beaten, okay? And I could have, I'm imagining some like woke black chick just like falling on the ground, like, oh no, he was racist towards me. He was racist, you know. But no, I just left, and I don't give it much thought, right? It's just what one person thinks about me or thinks about white people, just because he looked at me and said that I was white. He already had preconceptions about me, And, I could have victimized myself or whatever, but there's, literally no point. There's no point. It's just, who cares what one person, or even in today's society, who cares what everybody else thinks about you? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, that's my story. It's interesting, because I think that might be the only it might be the only example of racism I might have ever seen. I mean, people that were at my liberal arts college in Vermont, right, literally were complaining about racism at the school when, clearly that doesn't go on. I mean, clearly that did not go on. They're just like victimizing themselves over no reason. Like, oh, I know why I'm unsuccessful, because everyone else around me is racist. Yeah, no. That's not what's happening at all. Yeah, then get this. Here's another funny situation. Is when I was like living in town. I don't know if I was going to that school anymore. I was working a job. And from my understanding, one day, right, they go to the flagpole without even talking to anybody. They go to a flagpole, and there's an American flag or like the school flag or something up there, and they put a big Black Lives Matter flag and they string it up. And then security's like, oh, what the fuck is this? Like, we haven't talked about this going up here. Like, and I think they might have thought, right, about taking it down. And then all of a sudden, all these woke people just gather around and start chanting Black Lives Matter and stuff like that, like they're being victimized at this super woke liberal school in Vermont. And it's just so funny to me. It's just so funny to me. It's so ridiculous. And they're shouting, Black Lives Matter, like, this is a call to action. They're trying to take our flag down. What a bunch of fucking losers. Maybe, I don't know, I wasn't actually there, but that's my understanding of it. And, yeah, so that's about it. That's my reverse racism story.